smoking, doing his sleep, hanging the tail out on the big Rover, which he's prepared himself. And there is the factory car of Jeff Allen, leading the race from Peter Lovett. There is Jeff Allen, raced at Le Mans last weekend in a Mazda sports car, but well known mainly for saloon car racing. Jeff Allen never tried his hand at single-seaters. Blonde young man from Epsom. Takes his racing pretty seriously. Of course, so he should. He's a member of the official Austin Rover factory team. The cars, though, prepared by Tom Walkinshaw Racing, will also prepare the Jaguars, which are winning in Europe. Great to see Leyland back in racing so intensively and really putting on a great show. And now we have a car coming into the pits, and it looks like one of the Rovers. Indeed it is, Jeff Allen. We may be able to go down to Gary Newbon in a little bit, but the leading car has come into the pits. Jeff Allen, mechanics are jacking it up. What do you think the problem could be, Brian?
Well, they're changing the front tyres, and it looks to me like he's got either a puncture. I think it must be a puncture because they're only changing one tyre. In fact, yes, they're working, really it's tyres. In fact, I didn't see them actually change a tyre. It looked like they just tightened the wheel up. So maybe it was something as simple as a wheel not being tightened up at the start.
Well, Jeff Allen hasn't had the best of seasons. He's only won one of these saloon car races, although many times being quicker. Jeff Allen back in the race. But now the new leader is Peter Lovett, followed by Franklin Sickner. Well, that was a big surprise. Jeff Allen seemed to be having it all his way, and that is what motor racing is so often about. Always a surprise in store. And there is Jeff Allen after coming in to have that wheel attended to, back on the racetrack. And lying still in about 4th place. And Jeff is going to be trying pretty hard to make up that lost time, but his chance of victory now has to be extremely slim indeed. What sort of thoughts go through your head, Brian, when you've been out in the lead of a race like that and you have a problem, you have to come and you get back in the race? Can you get back into your rhythm?
Well, the first thing is you're very sick. I mean, you've got the race completely under control, and then something on the outside mechanically goes wrong, which means that through no fault of yours, you're going to throw the race away. Now, having said that, I think we've got some laps left, and maybe Jeff can just get back in, because for sure he was the quickest car on the circuit. He was driving probably better than anyone out there, and I think it should only be right that he finishes in the points.
Well, here's this BMW 635, the car which in Europe races against... yes, the car which races in Europe, but there is Jeff Allen. Well, it's obviously a problem that couldn't be cured quickly. He's back in the pits. Jeff is getting out, looking round, and his race is most certainly run. Well, Jeff stepping round the car, pretty unhappy about that. And sitting on the pit wall, and no doubt the press will be around to ask him what happened in a minute. Meanwhile, Peter Lovett looking for his 3rd win of the season. The only one of the 3 factory Rovers left in the race. Remember, Steve Soper didn't make the start. Jeff Allen has had a problem, we think, with the front tyre or front brake, something like that. So, the Rover that is out in the lead is starting to lap the rest of the field, and there is Alan Kerr now in the very quick Escort RS 1600i. The data post car is just about to be lapped, and second, but now out of touch with the Rover, is Frank Sittner. And there's another of those Escorts, and that's Chris Hodges. Chris Hodges, known best for his exploits in Toyotas, but has now switched to Ford. And the Rover is finding its way through Chris Hodges, and Chris Hodges, always a very hard competitor, also racing Clubman's Racing, doesn't give any quarter, says, well, Peter, you find your way around me, and that's exactly what Peter Lovett did. And the two Fords, of course, having a good battle between themselves. So there is that Rover Vitesse. Same body shell that you can get several engines in, 2 litres, 2.6, 2.3. And Gary Newbon in the pits can tell us what happened to Jeff Allen.
Well, Andrew, Jeff's got real tyre problems around his wheel, and he seems to be very distressed down there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's losing slightly. They are very, very concerned.
Well, Jeff Allen now completely out of it. And there is the number 3 car still leading, Peter Lovett. This is lap number 18 of 25, and there is the car now retired from the race. Jeff Allen out of it. Meanwhile, Peter Lovett going on his way. Well, Peter's pulled out a sizable lead on the BMW. This will disappoint Frank Sidner. Meanwhile, just going through there, passing John Morris in the Volkswagen, and John Morris has got some cameras for a film that Volkswagen are making inside that car, which should be giving them some pretty exciting pictures. And there's a BMW. Well, the gap is only perhaps 2-3 seconds, so Frank Sidner's still got some work to do, but it's not all over yet. Frank Sidner can still see the BMW, can still see the Blue Rover, and there you see one car in between them as they come down into the chicane.